we're looking forward to this next 40 minutes with some relish. That was a fantastic performance by England in the first half, wasn't it? But they have to repeat it now. They have to do that again.
Yeah, great first half, Dave, and more of the same in the second, please, if you're an English fan. New Zealand will be different. They've been poked, the hornet's net's been poked now, so it's about England maintaining their composure that we've seen. Same rules, get out of your own half with minimal posts and errors, kick the ball well, get the white wall going, and then show that great shape and structure we've seen from England that's troubled New Zealand on the edges.
Are the Kiwis coming out here or what? England are out, they've been out for a couple of minutes.
They have, yeah.
And while we wait, here they come, finally. What have you made, Jonathan Davis, as a former rugby league standoff, what have you made of Gareth Widdop here today in that position?
I think the combination's been very, very good. Him and Sinfield, as John Wilkins said, it looks a better balance. You know, they're not trying the miracle ball. The kicking game is complemented because, you know, he takes a bit of pressure off Sinfield, but also I think he's more direct than Rangi Chase. And I think that's been good today because he holds defenders, just created space out wide for Tompkins, which has been very, very good. I think more of the same in the second half, and I think England have got to believe they can win this game. That is the main thing. Believe, go on, grab the game with a scruff of the neck, and just go on and play in the final.
Well, key maybe, you look around at the England personnel out there and you think, you know, the likes of a Lachlan and Durrow, Watkins, Charnley, Tompkins, players who in England have achieved big things in the last few years with their clubs, who have won these big games.
There are a lot of big name players out there, as you say, have won trophies, been involved in the international setup for a long time. They know that it's all about this second half. With it being an 8-all scoreline, they've got to do the same things, play the same way. Because what we know about the New Zealand team, playing in the competition that they do most weeks, is they'll play for the whole 80 minutes, so this next 40.
But also, you know, you've got some players who play against these boys every week in the NRL. So they beat these boys week in, week out.
Here comes Burrow. Little scamper from dummy half. Still out there. Roby will be back at some stage in this second half. Burrow's doing an excellent job for the time being. Lachlan with a good, strong carry forward again. 5 gone. A good quick play the ball too, which gives Burrow just a bit more time to pick his kick, so he'll be a bit disappointed with that, because it's straight at Kevin Locke to run it back. Let's hear from Damien Johnson, who's got news from the dressing rooms at half-time. Damien.
The message from England's Steve McNamara: don't worry about the scoreboard. In defence, lock the ball up, stop the offloads. In attack, finish the sets off better. From the New Zealand dressing room, Stephen Kearney says, be patient, stick to the game plan, build pressure, and in execution, let's be tighter.
Penalty here for New Zealand.
Big one.
And Frank Paul's got up in a cranky mood. Wants a little bit of a push and a shove at Chris Hill. And his captain calms him down. We've got the penalty, let's get on with it. Will be the message. They're not going to go for goal this time, are they? Surely they're going to put it in touch. This time.
Not one for taking a backward step, is he, Frank Paul Nuasala?
No, he's not, is he?
What's his nickname, Dave?
Wrecking Ball. Frank Paul, the Wrecking Ball. Maybe you think he's in a bad mood? Cranky Frank Pritchard's not playing today, just as well, isn't it? Cranky Frank's not made the lineup because of injury. Here comes Jesse Bromwich with that initial drive forward. The man from the Melbourne Storm. Isaac Luke lines up a dummy half, picks it up and looks inside, and here comes Frank Paul Nuasala. Trying to bash his way through. England hanging on. Isaac Luke's up there again. Johnson with a quick hands. There's a real early test here for this England line, just as in the first half. It is New Zealand who are exerting all the early pressure at the start of the period. Kieran Foran saw a bit of a gap, and Lachlan got across there to hamper his run. Sinfield, or rather Burgess, Sam Burgess, made the tackle complete. Look again, here's Johnson now. Johnson with a dummy over the top. There was a hand from an England player. Ryan Hall picks it up, but it's a knock-on.
Yeah.
It's a knock-on. So another set of 6 for England to defend.
Bit of early pressure here for England to deal with, and outnumbered there on the fringe, and I think it was it Cudjoe or was it Hall that got his hand to it in the end? Here we see the look, and here's the Johnson speculator over the top, and it's Cudjoe that deflects it up.
But he's
over
got
the
to do
top.
that. If they play the blitz defence, Kudju has to get something on the ball. He can't allow the ball to go beyond him because there's an overlap. And that's what he did. He knew that. Had to do it.
Just a question for you, Dave.
Okay, let's go.
Paul and Pritchard, are they collectively known as the Crankies?
Here comes
Kevin,
Johnson.
Kevin.
Contact us, by the way, rugbyleague@bbc.co.uk, at BBC Sport, hashtag BBCRL,
George, now, release.
hashtag Forward Forum. That's all your Twitter information. Here, Isaac Luke picks it up, and here's Johnson again. Johnson throws it to Luke. Ryan Hall had to come out of the line because of a big gap there, and over he goes. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck with his second try of the game. Or has he? Or has he?
Central instruction, please.
They're going to have another look at this. Tuivasa-Sheck is celebrating, but a video referee required, so let's hear again from Ashley Klein.
White to start with, yeah. Okay, checking for obstruction. It's fine. Right with that. He's caught on the outside, passes before. I'm happy with that, yep. We'll go to the ball straight away, it'll be a try, Benny.
That's fine.
And coming up now.
Nothing wrong with that. They were looking for the possible obstructions from the dummy runners, but no problems seen by Ashley Klein. It is a second for the day for Tuivasa-Sheck, and 8 now. He levels with Ryan Hall in terms of the tournament tries, and New Zealand lead for the very first time.
We just mentioned that, Brian, didn't we, about the blitz defence. If you come in, you've got to block. Just watch. They come in. They've got to kill the ball. If they play that defensive game, you've got to stop the ball going out. You just got to hand it earlier on. Just watch. Ryan Hall comes shooting in, really. Had to stay out a little bit. High risk, isn't it, Brian?
It is high risk, and if you get it wrong, you look badly exposed there, as Ryan Hall did. But you have to work in conjunction with Kudju and stop the play the minute the ball is in hand. And I think they had the numbers there to solve it another way there.
Yeah, I think should have gone up and held.
Big kick for Sean Johnson, looking to give New Zealand a 6-point lead. Eyes watching on behind him. The kick is a decent one, but he's put it just wide. It has gone just wide. Here's the first miss of the day. So there is some consolation in the moment for Steve McNamara and his England side. It is only 8 points to 12 that they trail at the moment.
Yeah, ball goes wide, they go in. Great finish though again.
Well, he's some star, isn't he, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck from the Sydney Roosters. Winger of the year in the NRL last year, and every likelihood that he's going to be at full-back before long.
I'm going to say, he's a full-back. He must be some player.
How many full-backs have they got playing in the NRL? Thanks of Inglis and Slater and Tuivasa-Sheck and Minicello.
One in every team.
Yeah, Jiffy was going to give that answer about
well
14.
done. Well done.
I could see that one coming from a mile, wouldn't it?
Darius Boyd, Sam Tompkins, Kevin Long,
Inglis.
we mentioned him. Anyway, New Zealand in possession with the lead, 12 points to 8, 6 minutes of the second half played. So now it needs a response for England, and this is the first time they're going to have to respond from behind in this game.
Well, the chance in their arm with offloads, aren't they, the Kiwis? It's a particular feature of the style of play that they have with their big blocks going forward, and England just need to get back in the game here.
They're going to go right here. Locke with a kick downfield. Charlie with a catch on the full. Now, how far further downfield can he take it? But look at Kieran Foran getting in there with a very good tackle.
Great chase.
I love that player, Kieran Foran. He really is a good player, isn't he? Ryan Hall out to that left-hand side.
Well, England have to go through the same process that they did at the start of the first half. They've got to get into these big New Zealand forwards and take some juice out and kick the ball well and get them on the roundabout, i.e. turning around all the time, retrieving balls. Use their own physical prowess that they did at the start of the first half and crack a few dents in the New Zealand line and then kick the ball.
Hill. Went up to Sinfield. Here comes Tompkins. Looking for the width, looking for the gaps.
Good defence though, wasn't it? Very good defence. You've got to run inside shoulder there. They drifted wide. That's the only thing. They had plenty of numbers there. They had to run inside shoulder to hold the defensive line.
Here's to Abbas.
Great chase by that's a good chase again by England. I think the one distinct difference for me is the pace of the play of the ball. New Zealand a few seconds quicker, just gives them that little bit of an advantage on the attack. Oh no!
Penalty New Zealand. John Wilkin, what news on the touchline?
Yeah, just on that point really about the play the ball speed. We've got two guys who are going to come onto the field now in James Graham and James Roby, who I think really contributed to England winning that ruck, getting on the front foot, and they're going to come back on the field now for England. And really important players for this England team in the next 10 minutes just to grab control of the game again. They've just let it slip, and an interesting moment in the game right now.
Wait for the tap.
Tap restart, we'll see New Zealand. There you see them, truck and trailer, as Brian Noble calls them. Graham and Roby about to come back on, and New Zealand with a promising position from their point of view. Jesse Bromwich with the offload, and Fare
Amazing
with a
offload.
little skipping run and bowls it on to Isaac Luke and Sonny Bill Williams, who's got the potential to destroy morale and defences, but not that time. And Luke picks it up, and on it goes from Frank Paul Nuasala.
He is quick, he is. Frank Paul Nuasala is very, very quick.
Isaac Luke again, looking left. This is Jesse Bromwich once more, who's going to take it forward. No nonsense. Straight forward. And that's matched with the equal determination of the England defence. Look to Johnson. Johnson, the inside pass. Sonny Bill Williams. Again, the defenders there to make sure not only is he stopped, but he can't get it away. There's a hint of a knock-on, a hint of a knock-on. England complain, hang on too long. Penalty New Zealand, and another chance for them to hammer this England line now.
They did well to hold him. I think he dropped the ball there. He's dropped that cold on the floor.
Yeah.
That's what Burgess is calling. He says there's steal.
Hang on. He might have his mind changed. Might he? No, he won't.
He didn't call this.
Forward comes Jesse Bromwich. 5
5
tackles to have a go. New Zealand. England. That wall of white needed more than ever just at the moment. Johnson, look how many here. Oh, and it's going to be a hat-trick, is it? No, it's not. England's defence scrambles across. How good a reaction was that from England? The ball's come back and they've got it as well.
I have no idea where the ball went, to be honest.
That looked a certain try.
Great defence by England.
Question of heart.
Desperation stuff. Heart, ticker, courage, call it what you want. They made the play.
Question answer. Sinfield. So they might have felt a little aggrieved, England there, at having that penalty awarded against them in the first place, but no sense of any kind of self-pity. They got on with it.
Changes are made as well. Graham and Roby are on. That'll give them a go forward. As John said, quick play the ball.
Sinfield's kick. Long collects. Roby's up there, Graham's up there, Roby gets there. So does Callum Watkins. Look at that defence. Look at that defence. And then the reaction.
Chris up! In the middle. Right.
10 minutes of the second half play. England trail for the first time in this game.
Good run.
James off him!
Alex Glenn with a very good run. Good angle.
Nice and good with it.
And Westwood being back on the field has helped England in the physical presence. There is danger.
Good half-back play from Isaac Luke. He saw that Westwood wasn't square at marker, so he knew there was one short. He had a go. Here comes the 6th tackle. Johnson puts it high. Tompkins has a look. Widham's there to help him out. Tompkins goes up, collects very well. Oh, and what's he done?
I think that's Widham, is it?
Holding.
I'm not sure if there was holding here. It was definite block, maybe.
Gareth Widham's altered his line here. I think knocks him off the ball.
Let's have a look. Just keep an eye. He'll come across.
Well, there's Widham coming out. He's allowed to go for the ball. But it's an obstruction for me.
Yes.
You don't think so, Jim?
Nothing in it really, isn't there? But hey, there's only one man whose decision counts.
Have they made a decision here? Yes, they have, because the touches are behind the post here.
I go for goal, yeah.
They've already decided to go for goal.
Yeah, God, they didn't go for goal on the previous steal on Sonny Bill, and now they've changed their mind. And that's a compliment to the English defence. They're 50-50 them, aren't they? Sometimes you're given, sometimes you're not given. Just watch it.
What he's saying is impeded the
Yes.
kicker from challenging for the ball at least.
I understand, the decision. Sometimes they're given, sometimes they're not.
It's worth mentioning, by the way, that if he kicks this, the gap is 6 points, and still an awful long way to go, but the likelihood of a draw, if England score a try-kick, a goal, etc., becomes a little more likely. Golden point extra time, if required today. Johnson is successful. 3 out of 4, 8 for England, 14 for New Zealand. Just a little bit more daylight between the team in black and the team in white. From an England point of view, they need to get out of this lull, which they've been in since half-time, really. Here comes Sinfield with a kick. Hargreaves.
Even this early in the second half, I think the next score is important. You don't want a team of this calibre going 2 scores. I think England just need to get a little bit of possession now. They've been starved of possession and field, and I think it's come down to a couple of penalties near the halfway line, Dave. They've just conceded penalties and then they've conceded possession and territory.
4 tackles gone. This is how it looks. The possession and territory. We'll have a look at that in just a moment. Sonny Bill Williams.
Nearly
Second half,
83%.
yeah. 17 for England. Up goes the kick. Tompkins underneath it. 2 outrider chasers, but
Great
Tompkins has got up superbly well to claim that as his own. And England needed that. Didn't want any mistakes there, did they? Widdop. Ball.
In the middle.
Good
Burgess, Sam Burgess.
I do like the way Sam Burgess just changes the pace when he takes the ball in. Oh,
Graham crunching contact again.
Isaac Luke changed the pace of James Graham there.
yeah.
Westwood. They've got some big players on at the moment. I think Westwood's still out there, Hill's still out there, Graham's still out there. Sam Burgess is still out there, and Lachlan, of course, is part of that pack. So it's a big pack they've got on the field at the moment.
A bit too far, that kick.
Well gathered by Tuivasa Sheck. Good chase by Widdop.
Just some news from the touchline. Frank Nuisala, the New Zealand prop, the latest victim of what is an increasingly bruising game, is being treated this calf for his knee. I'm not sure exactly. The doctor working intensively on him. His afternoon may be over.
I don't think a decision has gone England's way in this second half, has it?
I'd be interested to see this one, because you just can't do this against this quality team. This is going to take its toll on England if they keep giving the free field position, and it's adjudicated that Loughlin's played at the ball there on Goodwin, and it's hard to argue with those type of camera shots.
Yeah. 3 penalties crucial.
There he is, not happy at the moment.
Last thing you want in like ice, squeezing you.
Cranky, one of the crankies was going off again there, Dave.
Here's Ray Hargreaves.
Big tackle.
Get out here.
Have a bit of that.
Re-establishing authority in the front row. Up front. Been off the field for a while, James Graham says.
Guess
But
what
now
that
I'm
is?
back. Now I'm back.
He was holding him. Could see that clearly, couldn't he?
Manuel lost it.
There we are. 2
England
passes.
have it back. Tompkins now just skips away from the first tackle of Alex Glenn. Finds a bit of room in the middle. He can destroy with those fancy feet.
That should have been a penalty.
He wanted it. That was a 0 tackle, by the way. That's the first tackle.
Well played,
That's
James
not even a
Roberts.
tackle
Well
yet. So on comes Sinfield. Sinfield now. England line not just ready.
Needed a runner.
Good decision not to pass.
First tackle. What's he going to
Oh,
do?
no!
Penalty England
Yeah,
this
that's
time.
it. Yeah,
Fine tackle.
I thought he'd given a penalty for a knock-on, but it was a late hit. Cassiano came in. I think he had a call from the touch judge.
Thanks, man.
Good to hear a Welshman getting so passionately behind England, by the way.
Well, Wales are not in the competition, so you know you've got to support England.
So
you
6
can't
tackles.
support. You know, you got to support England against New Zealand and Australia.
6 tackles for England to ask a few questions of this New Zealand defence at the start of the second half. Westwood puts it back to Tompkins.
Great run there, Tompkins.
Knew he was going to get clattered, and he did, but he caught it. Westwood down the blind side. Watkins comes back down the middle. Tompkins has it. Now it's Sinfield. Sinfield to Hill. Hill straightening up a bit. Hill. Well, he's still going here, Chris Hill. Good, strong effort. Now Roby. Graham to his left. This is Sinfield. Out to Widdop. Widdop across to Tompkins, who slips over on the Wembley turf. Disappointing end to that particular tackle, but it's Widdop. Widdop now puts a foot down.
Right, they need a repeat set now. Repeat set they want.
Roby looks to his left, 3 there, goes to his right, puts the kick in. It's play on, it's still the 6. Tompkins has to be awarded. Oh, it is another 6, yes, it is another 6. Play that. I thought he said play on. So another set, they do get the repeat set.
Yep.
Here comes Roby. Listen to the crowd now, roaring this England side on. Graham, back to Sinfield. Sinfield to Watkins! Callum Watkins! England try!
Great
Back
ball!
in the game!
Great ball, Kevin Sinfield. What an angle from this young kid, Callum Watkins.
And a noise at Wembley has just reached roof-lifting proportions. 14-12 with a Kevin Sinfield kick to tie us up again.
Put another feather in Kevin Sinfield's cap. This is a great ball. This is a half-back ball per se. James Graham out the back. Kevin Sinfield has to find the runner, but it's a great line from Callum Watkins. Otherwise, that doesn't happen. Well played, England. Great ball.
Bryson Goodwin. His eyes are on Ben Westwood. Great run. Watch Ben Westwood. Then he'll come in the shot. He's there, he's held up the centre, and what the ball, what an angle. Great try, England. This kid reminds me of a young Ellery Hanley. I don't know, it's just...
Whoa!
I'm telling
There's
you,
a compliment.
he could be, this kid could be the next superstar in rugby league.
He's had a lot of injuries over the years, hasn't he? Which has really hampered his career.
He has got it all, I'm telling you.
But he's still a star performer. We've not seen a lot of him in this World Cup so far. Sinfield to make it all square. Oh, he's just pulled it wide. Just pulled it wide. But it's game on. 12 for England, 14 New Zealand. Callum Watkins try.
Just watch again.
Unbelievable ball from Kevin Simpson. Westwood does attract his defender, but he's on the fly there. It would have been hard to stop anyway.
But he doesn't do anything, you know, he doesn't actually do anything, Westwood, but because he's there, right, he holds up, you know, the New Zealand centre.
So Isaac Luke with a restart. If New Zealand thought that early pair of second half scores was going to put them in the driving seat, think again. Sam Burgess is just, he's an absolute machine today. He really is. He's an absolute machine week in, week out. And now it's England. Now it's England getting the decisions.
Walk away.
Steve McNamara, Paul Deacon looking on.
You want to get between those two, would you?
No.
Dogzilla and Burgess.
I thought you meant Steve McNamara and Paul Deacon.
You start something, you know what'll happen a lot. So
Damien Johnson is with a special guest on the touchline. Damien.
Tom Briscoe is with me. Tom, what have England got to do in this finely balanced game to get over the finishing line?
I think that's it really. It's a finely balanced game, like you say, and I think we've just got to stick with that, keep knocking the sets out. I'm sure New Zealand will be doing the same, but I think coming out in this second half we conceded a try, but the boys got back to the game plan and scored a good try there. We've just got to stick with that, complete our sets and get to the kicks.
Thanks, Tom.
Cheers.
that's one, yeah, Jared.
Left to play, 20 minutes, just under 20 minutes left to play. Roby out from dummy half, Sinfield across to Westwood. Westwood to Watkins, who threatened. They just about held on in that New Zealand line. Sinfield now, this is Widdop, stepping away, maybe creating a bit of space on his left-hand side, but The defence is good.
I tell you,
He's holding on, he's
Very,
holding on, he's
very,
holding on,
very
he's holding
happy with
on.
that.
How long does he get to hold on?
a half-back combination, good balance. Sinfield really, really playing well.
Sinfield again. This is Tompkins. Tompkins! Trying the sachet of the hips, but New Zealand are not buying it. Here comes the last. So Sinfield's kick's important. Right across the face of field. Hall goes up and catches it. Wants to offload it. Oh, he's given it away to Sonny Bill Williams. And Sonny Bill tried to offload. Oh, to Ivasa, what he's doing. He's giving it away. England have it back again. New Zealand a rattle. New Zealand a rattle. Come on, England, shout the crowd. Chris Hill drives it in. Roby spins it across. O'Loughlin knocked it on.
Chance.
Those are the moments. Those are the moments, gents.
That was an opportunity. He takes it, he's in. Doesn't knock on. There's numbers on the right-hand side.
What about this?
don't know
That's
what.
a great catch from Hall. He flicks it in. Sonny Bill cleans it up. Thinks, no, I'll give him a running opportunity. No, I won't. Two of us clearly hasn't got it. And I think he was juggling it and he was trying to get it to another player. I didn't think he could
but look where they are. That's the one thing about New Zealand. They'll want to play, won't they? And they'll try the offloads all the time. Now, they can implode sometimes.
All Sonny Bill had to do was keep hold of it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You tell him.
Tell him after.
Jamie Peacock, second half, just as impressive as the first from your point of view?
Yes, definitely. I think England's resilience has been outstanding, but I think what we're going to see in this second half is how vital discipline is. We've seen New Zealand score a try of 3 or 4 penalties, and we saw England receive a penalty and manage to score off the back of it. So come on, England, let's ride this momentum.
New Zealand 14, England 12, 17 and a half minutes left to play. Here comes Nightingale. Carried well enough. Isaac Luke. The big fellas have a go here.
The big fellas. How good has James Graham and James Roby been when they've been on the field?
John, made that comment in studio later on. These boys coming on.
Sonny Bill meets his match in Benny Westwood.
He plays in the NRL, doesn't he, Graham? He knows how important the quick play the ball is.
Isaac Luke gets it on again, and they're trundling here.
And late on in the game.
Offload, here comes Isaac Luke. Making a bit of space for himself here. This is terrific from Luke, but Tompkins doing just enough. The offload tried. Where's it going? Everywhere. Picks it back here and forward. Knock on is the first one. I think it's England's head and feet here. Yes, it is. England's head and feet.
Questioning a steal there.
They're going to need oxygen tents after this game. There's just been
them or us?
Stop, hasn't
them or us?
Well, both will borrow some. They can get the first goal. I think they've earned it.
They can have a go in the ice bath while we have the oxygen tent.
Such a quick game,
Keep that tunnel clear.
64 minutes gone in this game. The second half has flown.
Charlie coming in off the wing, helping out his forwards with an early surge. Let them get some oxygen back in their lungs here. And it's another of the outside backs, Leroy Cudjoe, taking on that heavy workload duty. Well, the bigger fellas have a breather. O'Loughlin now will bang it forward again. Gee, how good's that man? Blaze, Roby, Graham. They don't know what he's going to do they? That's the thing. He might be surging at them. He might pass at the line. Put on some footwork. O'Loughlin back to Widdop.
Oh!
Quick hands
Go
here.
for the intercept. Does that play on?
Play on. Here comes
Get in the corner, Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall for the corner. He slipped over. Normally he makes that left wing his own personal ticker tape parade. Not this time. Not this time. Tompkins. Maybe it's the right wing. Maybe it's the right wing with Charlie.
Good defence.
What a tackle.
Put down with insight. Watkins. Tompkins. How many tackles left?
Any tackles left?
Loads. All the time in the world, as somebody once sang. Oh, he's not been allowed to play that. He never played that, but the referee says play on. Graham, Sinfield, Widdop. Now it goes. Burgess.
Good hit again.
Sam.
Sonny Bill on him again. That's a great contest. Burgess, Sonny Bill.
Inside forward, up, puts the kick in!
No!
And they're going to make the tackle.
Oh, he dropped it. He dropped
Make
it.
the tackle. Little kick into the goal. That's a very clever kick, that actually, isn't it? Because another set of 6. Real good control under pressure and at pace.
I'm not sure if he dropped it. I'm not sure if he dropped it. He's checking. Just watch. Oh, great kick.
Why did he dive for the line?
Again, no, I don't know why he kicked so early in the tackle count.
Well,
6 more players.
I tell you what,
it comes off. It comes off. He kicks early.
Yeah.
Because it's a great skill and it comes off.
It's the bloke next to me that's complaining, not me. I think he's a great player.
Look at those 6 tackles now. John Wilkin on the sideline. John.
I think we're fantastically lucky here, Dave, to be looking at what I think is the best forward pack in this competition. The England pack is just outstanding. What they can do with the ball and defensively against this New Zealand team today has been nothing short of sensational. With George Burgess on the field now, just to add to that impact.
Just underline John Wilkins' point there, George.
I think also complemented by a fantastic half-back partnership today. I think they've been solid and the game management's been brilliant.
Sinfield puts it out to Sam Burgess.
Just go.
Burgess runs over Locke. Runs over Kevin Locke. It's slamming Sam. England have a try. England have the lead. A World Cup final is just moving inches closer to their grasp. What a try!
How good is this kid? How good is Sam Burgess? I'm telling you. But again, I think it's Kevin Sinfield that creates the opening for him.
Here he goes.
Just watch.
James Roby, Kevin Sinfield takes the line on, attracts SBW and gives it to SB. SB slamming Slam to slam the ball down over the line. Get that into you. Boom.
What a finish. In or out, he was not going to be stopped. I tell you, you looked at him 15 yards out from the try line, and as if he'd scored already. The confidence in this kid is unbelievable.
What's going through the mind of Kevin Locke seeing that monster running down at him?
Balance, poise, pace, power. He plays from prop to loose forward.
Wembley's a further, an absolute further.
It's just a privilege to be here. First and foremost, it's a great game.
Sinfield's kick is a good one. 3 out of 4. 18 points England, 14 points New Zealand.
Here we see James Robin, James Graham attracting defenders. Kevin Sinfield's pass selection there was great because the temptation was to go early on Sam. Sam pushes through. They both go through the hole and he offloads.
67 minutes when England took the lead again.
Now then, let's just see it, how much character this Kiwi side has got.
You could write an opera about this game and be accused of melodrama. There is the kick-off.
What a mistake!
It's gone straight out of play.
What a mistake!
A penalty for England on the halfway line. Maybe this wall of white is moving inexorably.
Can Kevin
where they want to be.
Can Kevin Sinfield reach from there? I don't think he can he?
Does he want to reach from there?
Well,
or does he kick the touch?
6 points with, just over 10 to go.
I think he'll kick the ball out. I don't think he'll go for
the ball. No. Somewhere near a 20-metre.
He's made absolutely sure of finding touch. It's a good kick. England score again. My word. If. There's George. Here's Roby. The pass. Not that. Sonny Bill! Sonny Bill steps up to the plate.
No,
but he's knocked on. England's head and feet at the scrum.
I don't think. Was it a knock on? It's a big call, this is. Big call.
No. Well, that one's not a knock on.
Well, we didn't see this. I think it's the previous play. It was the tackle he made on it. Just watch. That's not a knock on, I tell you what. That's a big. He went looking for that Sonny Bill Williams. He needed a big play and he pulled it off. The officials got it wrong.
Here comes Westwood to barge it forward.
They've got to capitalise on it now.
Roby at dummy half, 20 metres out. Then it's Graham now, who takes it in on the second drive. These are the characters you want hanging around at moments like this. Sinfield to George Burgess. Another mighty drive by him. 3 tackles gone. 3 to go. Roby. Wood up with a step. New Zealand's defence recovers well. This is Roby. Sinfield. Westwood pushing him off. Westwood! Oh, he's lost the ball over the line.
Watch out.
Nightingale brings it back.
Did he lose the ball?
No advantage, I think, for New Zealand, so they'll get the head of the scrum.
How close is
on
that?
the 10-metre line.
I thought it was over. He thought it was over. Put the ball down, Ben. Put the ball down, Ben. Put the ball.
Oh, so close. Oh.
Benny Westwood had a stitch in his face. He's got a swollen cheekbone. Doesn't care. Enjoying the moment. Nine minutes to play. Stays like this. The World Cup holders are out, and England are in the World Cup final. But it's a huge, mighty big if at this stage. New Zealand will come back. They will have a chance. That's Mannering, their skipper. England's defence having to stand firm. Isaac look at dummy half. This now is Jesse Bromwich. They are making the meters. Not doing too much damage, but making the meters up towards the halfway line. So when the kick comes, they'll be in a decent position. Driven in by Matalino. So next, you'd imagine, would be the kick. Yes, they're going to try something really fancy. It's Johnson with a little click over the top. Widdups read that. So too is Sinfield. Sinfield takes it. And England back in possession again. So, Robbie Hunter-Paul, from a New Zealand perspective, how's this playing out right now?
Well, it's been better if you looked at it before England had taken the lead from New Zealand's perspective, but the chip kick exemplifies what New Zealand's going to do from now on. With 8 minutes to play in this game, they're going to have to throw caution to the wind. England's defence need to expect absolutely anything.
8 minutes to go. Here comes Graham again now, driving it forward, and George Burgess spinning around. Handful. 5, out it goes to Sinfield. Sinfield across to Tompkins. They're on the 6th tackle here. So Tompkins with a kick to the in-goal area. He wants to bounce. He wants the backspin. It doesn't come. Ooh, bit of a slip by Jason Nightingale. His metal studs on the concrete surface. Tap back on the 20. 7.5 minutes to go. Captivating. Utterly captivating. England's performance today is just terrific. But New Zealand have added to it as well. And they might still have a final word. Nightingale tackle. Look at dummy half. Kieran Foran across the line. This is Johnson now. Sonny Bill Williams on the rampage with the offload. Johnson throws it back in. Here comes the man to Ivisashek, who's tackled. 25 out. Still tackles in the bag. England's defence, that wall of white, buckles together again.
It's not one Burgess, it's the other one, it's Sonny.
Here comes another one, Matalino.
You have to say that we've seen some world, the best players on the planet out there.
6th tackle, Johnson, quick hands, good job! Oh, right on Hall! Right on Hall knows. Had he caught that 80 yards down the field, he'd have been almost certainly celebrating an England victory. He did well to get there, to be fair. He did well to get there.
It was the cane breaker one way or the other, wasn't it?
Look at that. The reaction says it all. Reaction says it all.
Head and feed New Zealand. Head and feed New Zealand. And 6 tackles to ask the question of this England defence again. Have you got the character to keep this Kiwi threat out?
This is a big set of 6.
Crowd are finding their voice. The mythical 14th man. Here come New Zealand. Foreign. Lock. Oh, they've blown it! They've blown it on the very first play! England get the ball back!
Dreadful play. That's dreadful play by New Zealand. Kevin Locke just overthrew that.
It was a shocking pass, wasn't it?
I don't know why they went so wide early, you know. It wasn't on. There are two defenders there. You know, England had snuffed it out, that attack. They got the defence right.
Well, Wembley hasn't resonated to the chants of England quite like this in quite a while.
It's been a fantastic game. Fantastic game.
Here comes Burgess, slamming Sam, who, by the way, is the man of the match today, Sam Burgess.
Hey,
but
there were a few contenders for that. Sinfield was one as well.
Well, he's the official man of the match, Sam Burgess. But you have to say, hats off to Kevin Sinfield. He's had his detractors leading up to this tournament and leading up to this game, but boy, has he delivered today, Kevin Sinfield, the England skipper. Tompkins trying to get up from dummy half, maybe suspecting that Cassiano was not square. Six tackle, Widdop puts it high. Not a lot of depth on it, but it is high. It's allowed to bounce by Goodwin. And England's defence is up there, but Locke just able to get away, not for long. Here's Goodwin. 4.5 minutes to play. How are the nerves? How are the nerves? Whether you're watching at home or whether you're in the thick of it right down there.
They'll keep their discipline now, not give field position away.
Look, ran at Burgess. I suspect Burgess thought he wasn't square. Why he put him over. Pushed him rather than tackled him. This is Johnson. Here comes Faré. Faré with the ball back inside to Vasashek, and marshalled well by that England defence.
He's injured.
That'll be tackle 5 when he gets up and plays it. Which he does slowly. England won't mind this. They've slowed everything right down here, the Kiwis. So there's going to be a bit more pressure maybe on the kicker than they might have had, but he still gets that kick away. Tompkins, Charlie, who's after this? Goodwin got up there and got the hand to it. He's given a drop out underneath the sticks. New Zealand hand went backwards.
Wow.
Well, two Vasashek's linked him about now.
Goodwin did well in amongst that cluster of England defenders. So, another set of 6 here for England to defend with 3.5 minutes to go. We're loving every second of this, but sometimes you just want the hooter to sound because you can't stand the nerves much more than this.
Can I have my oxygen now?
They are being stretched to the limit. Kevin Sinfield as cool as ice with a drop kick from underneath the sticks that takes the ball into the hands ultimately of Ben Matalina, who drives it back. England know they need to put in 6 big tackles here. This is it, fellas. This is where the game is won or lost in these final few moments. Isaac Luke, England defending, New Zealand rolling on. Sonny Bill Williams wants a piece of the action, but he gets a piece of England's defensive might. Back to the middle, Bromwich. He's put down. 4 tackles gone, wants the penalty. Referee says, get up. Johnson swings it wide. Foreign, out it goes. This now is Goodwin. Goodwin cuts back in.
Good defence.
That's 5, here's the last. Kieran Foran kicks it high towards Ryan Hall. Oh, it's England's ball. It's England's ball. It's a knock on New Zealand. It's head and feet England with 2.5 minutes to go. The handover.
Turnover.
The handover.
Play near the sideline and roll it out and over the scrum.
I'll tell you what.
2.5 minutes to play.
Well, New Zealand will get one more goal with the ball here if things pan out the way they should.
Oh, here we go. It's a smash-a-thon now.
This is it now. They're trying to sludge the ball.
Up go the legs, but just about stayed beneath the perpendicular, otherwise it would have been a penalty. New Zealand rushing out here.
World Cup holders on the verge.
Graham.
Giving their title up.
World Cup hosts on the verge of making a final. Sam Burgess carries it. That's tackle 5. Sinfield's kicking back down the middle. Never mind the touchline. He's going to make New Zealand bring it out straight away here. England's defence is ready. This is the set.
This is it.
This is the set. England make 5 more tackles. They're there. And New Zealand know that. That's tackle 2. 4 more to go. Here comes Goodwin. That's the 3rd. Isaac look at dummy half. It's slow. Taken in by Cassiano. Here comes Foran. Good tackle by Hall on Farey. That's tackle 4. 2 more tackles to come. Sunnyville down the middle.
Oh, no!
Looks high!
No!
Was high! Penalty New Zealand! So they will get another set here.
We've got 1 minute.
Quickly taken. Isaac look. 46 seconds to go. Driven in by Nuasala. They'll throw everything at England now.
This is it. This is it.
4 tackles to go. Isaac look from dummy half. England respond.
30 seconds.
It's a moment for heroes. Big throw out. Johnson. Johnson with a goal.
What a try!
With a try.
What a try!
Sean Johnson with the try that makes it all level. With literally seconds to play. And now he's got a kick to win the game.
They shot out to the line. They opened up. You cannot come out at a player of this quality. He steps 1, steps 2. What a brilliant finish. England just lost their shape in defence and opened it up. This is the penalty first of all. Didn't need to do it. And then they rushed out and just opened the gate for this player. There he is. Sinfield goes early. Bang! Off the left. What a try.
Well, it ain't over yet. He has to kick the goal. And it's that fella who has the task of kicking this goal. And Wembley is almost silent. Sean Johnson of the New Zealand Warriors, the man they called the new Benji Marshall, is the man who might just win it for New Zealand. Everybody is focused on one man. 70,000 pairs of eyes stare at this fella.
This is not a difficult kick, okay? But in circumstances like this, it's a little bit tougher.
It's out of their hands now. Nothing they can do but stand and watch. Sean Johnson takes 3 steps back. A couple of careful steps to his left. Looks at the ball. Looks at the sticks. Tries to clear his mind of the cacophony of sound that swirls around Wembley. To take his side into a World Cup final. He's nailed it! He has nailed it! It is New Zealand in the World Cup final. They get to go again to defend their crown. And England simply can't believe the fate that has just befallen them. What a performance! What an outstanding performance by England today! But in the end, it was seconds away from being enough.
Yeah, I'm lost for words. It's just so close. And I just said, it's just the discipline, you know, the penalty, and then you shoot out to the line against the calibre of players like, you know, Kevin Locke and Sheck and Ware. Sean Johnson just steps out of the first tackle, second tackle, You have to say that is a brilliant, brilliant match-saving try, you know, and then steps up to top the goal. But what an amazing game of rugby league. Absolutely fantastic, and you see, you know...
Well, is there a sicker feeling in the world of rugby league?
You can't, you know, so close, so close.
Absolutely heartbreaking. It really is absolutely heartbreaking, and every England rugby league fan, every England sports fan around the country will know that this 17 players today have given their all, have come within a whisker of dethroning the world champions, and possibly deserve to dethrone the world champions. But in the end, not quite enough.
Well, that was the difference between these two sides, wasn't it? You know, it was just the last play of the match. Last play of the match.
So New Zealand are through to the final. Whether they play against Australia or Fiji, we'll know in a couple of hours' time. But in the meantime, let's hear from Sam Burgess with Damien Johnson.
Sam, many commiserations. You're the man of the match. It was a marvellous performance from England, but I guess that's very little consolation at this moment. What are your first thoughts?
You know, very disappointed for the team. I thought our effort was there today. I thought we fought through some tough patches as a team. We showed a lot of strength. You know, thanks for the man of the match, but I think I'd rather have the win than this medal.
Will you reflect perhaps on some half chances that, say, Ryan Hall and O'Loughlin had?
I mean, you can't look at that. Throughout a game, there's 50 other chances where we could have taken, and the same with the other side, but in the last 20 seconds we got pipped, and you know, the guys are very disappointed. We've put a lot of hard work into this tournament, and we feel we've probably not got what we deserve.
It was a bruising and physical encounter. Everyone expected that. What was it like to be out there?
Well, it's a fantastic game of rugby league to play in. Great atmosphere. I must thank the fans for turning out. It was great to play on this stadium and with my English friends. You know, and the Kiwis are very big and physical, so thanks to them as well. But it's going to take a while to get over this one. There's a lot of work gone into this preparation, so thoroughly disappointed at the moment.
Thanks very much, Sam. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
As you can see on the pictures, the England players are still on their knees on the Wembley turf. Jamie Peacock, that felt like the fastest 80 minutes of my life, followed really well. Fastest 78 minutes of my life, and then the slowest 2 minutes of my life.
Yeah, the last, for an England fan and as an ex-England captain, that last minute and a half was horrific viewing, to be honest. I felt like we deserved and did enough to get into the final. But yeah.
Well, right, let's go back down pitch side.
Stephen Kearney's with me. Stephen, congratulations. The news of the final again. That was an incredible game of rugby league, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. You know, it was a real test match. You know, I thought England, you know, had a great game today, but you know, to our lads, we just, you know, kept fighting, kept hanging in there, and we, you know, come up with an opportunity with, you know, a couple of minutes to go there, and we were good enough to take it. So, but you know, I thought England had a great game today.
With the clock ticking, even you must have thought that was it. The crown was going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, well, you know, again, we always back ourselves. If you know, if there's enough time on the clock and we had the footy, or you know, I was always confident that we'd give ourselves an opportunity, and you know, with 2 minutes to go, we did. So, you know, we're fortunate today, but I thought the fight from the lads, you know, they hung in there and gave themselves that chance, and I'm very happy.
Thanks very much. Congratulations, Steve.
Cheers, thank you.
The New Zealand players in their huddle, they have one more game to look forward to, and that's the final at Old Trafford next week. And George Burgess, Robbie, will be thinking about that high tackle, won't he?
He will be, and for a young player, that's a tough thing to have to deal with. You know, you think to yourself, you know, am I to blame? I'm sure his professionalism and his brothers will get around him. You know, lift your head up, son. You know, no worries. We move forward. There are other elements in the game where, you know, where they could have stretched out the lead. I personally, and I'm a Kiwi, I feel a little bit sick for the England players. I thought collectively over the 80 minutes as a team, they were probably the stronger. But as Steve Kearney just said there, you know, the individual brilliance sticking in the game, and that individual brilliance come out right at the death there, and I think that's something that New Zealand has in their arsenal to call upon.
They don't want to leave the pitch at the moment, don't the England players? James Graham, bloodied and bruised. Here's the thought of the England coach.
Steve, many commiserations. I mean, what is the feeling after that? It's a heartbreaking way to go out of the World Cup.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a tough way to go, but you know, high-level sport can be cruel at times, and you know, really a World Cup semi-final. That's how it should be. Two teams hammer and tongs, not much in it. You know, we're bitterly disappointed, as you can tell.
Did you feel, with the clock ticking, 30-odd seconds to go, that you had it in the bag?
I don't think in these sorts of games, when the score's so close, you can never think that, but we were getting close and done a lot of things right in this game. I thought we played tremendously well in the game, and very cruel, yeah, way to finish.
Very little consolation, but it was an incredible game to watch.
Well, it was, and I think, you know, for our sport, rugby league, you know, it's put us on the map. I think it showed everybody out there what a great sport it is. Tough to talk right now, obviously, as you can imagine, but yeah, I think the World Cup's been great for our sport, rugby league, and hopefully a lot more people will now become involved in it.
It's been a difficult campaign. Where now for England? Where now for you?
It's not been difficult at all. It's been a great campaign. We've done things the right way. Our group has been very strong. I think, as you can tell by what's gone out there today, and we'll see.
Appreciate you talking to us, Steve. Thanks.
Cheers, thank you.
Let's take a look at the winning try, shall we, Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, that's just a bit of a tired tackle, really. I think when you're a big man and you're tired, you tend to go high, and they just run out of gas here. I think Kev's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't there. I think if he holds back, they're short of numbers. He has to go out and press, and unfortunately he gets on the inside of him. But I'm the eternal optimist, okay? And I just want to look at the effort England have put in. The best two performances have been against the best two nations, Australia and New Zealand, and they probably deserve to come out with something a little bit more than today. An exceptional kick at the end, an exceptional try to New Zealand. Credit to New Zealand for what they did to hold in there, show guile and grit to hang in there. But England played well. Probably deserved a little bit more out of it, but I'm a little bit biased.
Yeah, well, you and me are biased, and we're gutted. But you know, credit to New Zealand as well, Rob.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that New Zealand will come away with this with a lot to learn. There were for massive portions of that game, England were completely dominant and effectively controlling the game. And I think there was a real showcase to them that if you want to compete in the final, we're going to need to get a better control of what we're doing, show better discipline and deliver on those.
Tell you what, the Wembley crowd are showing their appreciation to the England players as they go on their lap of honour at the moment. And that was their best performance of the tournament.
Yeah, without doubt. We've questioned their intensity. We've questioned how can they do it for 80 minutes. They did it for 80 minutes today. They came up with a try right at the end. But I can tell you one thing as a player, this hurt never goes away. Losing a game, a big game, right at the death that you thought you'd won, will stay with you for the rest of your life.
And quickly they will think, won't they? They'll think about the Ryan Hall interception. They'll think about the Sean O'Loughlin drop. They'll think about the Westwood just dropping it as he was putting his hand on the line.
That's the thing. They had so many chances just to put that game to bed. And if we could have taken one of them, we'd be sat in the final now. One more positive for me was the performance of Sam Burgess. I think that's the greatest individual performance I've seen in the England shirt for the last 20 years.
It's a big call. He was immense. The final is next week. New Zealand will take on the winners of the second semi-final between Australia and Fiji. So that's 1:45 on BBC One next Saturday afternoon. Thank you to Robbie and to Jamie. We will be there for the final. Gut-wrenchingly, agonisingly, England wait. Good afternoon.